Pisces. Boom bam. Hello everyone. Ethel Dayo. Springhead, hello. Let's go. Ariel, Pat, welcome. Captain Frosty, hello. Party being brought over to us. I wonder who this mysterious gentleman is that Ethel is bringing on sale. I haven't the slightest clue, but I bet he's Spanish judging by the wrongly colored apples. Such apples. Daffy, hello. Annie, hello. Wow, ito Janay Dayo. Let's get twisted. Welcome everyone to another Ethel Sim. Tonight we're gonna be doing chat with Ethel also. And we have Zero for the guests tonight. Ethel, let's get to the discussion screen. Ba-bam. We're gonna unmute now. Hello? Hello?
Oh, hold on. Howdy.
Howdy. I, Zero. Introduce thyself.
Alright, first and foremost, I weld for a living, and I spend most of my days being poisoned on toxic fumes, chemical.
Okay.
And then I read while being poisoned.
Wow, being poisoned.
Yes.
Oh, so you get poisoned by the welding, and then you also get poisoned by those chemtrails. Damn.
Sure.
I thought you mean that you had zero apple. It was very sad. Begin, yes. Okay, Zero. So, the topic tonight that you brought was existential thoughts. Yeah, and
Yes.
quantum mechanics. What about those?
Alright, so basically, everything is very, very meaningless, very lame, but people think that for the wrong reasons, and they're stupid, because there are actually very good reasons.
Aye. What are they? Why are they stupid?
But to understand why they're stupid, we have to figure out why nothing matters. So we're gonna go over to our homeboy Nietzsche, the total nerd who kind of went insane and wrote a bunch of letters saying that the Pope should be executed.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a real wild character. But he posited that we derived all our morality from some kind of ancient power struggle between people who are wealthy and well off and people who are poor and stupid. So the masters in this scenario had wealth, glory, fame, strength, and all that stuff, right? And then the slaves were like, you're lame and stupid, and we actually can't get what you have, but we can go ahead and make up our own morality to make ourselves feel better. So this is kind of where the seven sins kind of spawn. So like the masters would say wealth is a great virtue, and the poor would just say greed is bad, and that's how we get greed as a sin written down there. Same goes for poverty is bad, says the masters, and therefore humility is good. You know, working without and having to work each day to live. Thus, slothfulness, sin, bad, lame, they say. And same thing happens to like glory and like fame. That's narcissism, pride, evil, bad, smack. Yeah. Then we have being oppressed is bad. But being obedient to God is very good. Very good. Be obedient to your other man, the society. Good. And then we have like, rich guys. They get laid. They have sex. So therefore, purity is good.
Purity is good.
And yes, purity is good, and lust is a sin now. Right. And then we have like strength, being able to like do whatever you want. And be able to hit people in the face to take what you want. That's bad. That's wrath. Yes. Okay. And then we have like being weak is bad, says the master. But forgiveness is good. Like if you're weak and you can't take revenge, then that's bad, says the master. But forgiving someone who did something mean to you, that's good. That's forgiveness. So the entire moral structure that was created in resistance to the masters is what was inherited by Christianity. And as we've discussed, all of these are very arbitrary and stupid and lame. Therefore, Christianity is arbitrary, stupid, and lame.
Oh.
Yeah. Top 10 anime plot twists of all time.
Top 10
right?
anime plot twists.
Yeah. So anyway, we get further away from Christianity because we killed God, right? And now we have democracy, which are everywhere because Britain won. They own the planet, and democracy just kind of happened everywhere, right? Right. So even those that aren't Christian are still based on the Christian morality, and Christian morality is based on gay fake lameness. And that's why the morality is kind of fake and lame, and why it doesn't exist.
So the morality doesn't exist? What?
Okay, so the morality is lame and fake, right? And it's made up. And even if you aren't a Christian, you're basically following it anyway, because that's what society always does. So there's no actual reason to follow that line of morality, because it's fake and made up. That's at least the opening thesis.
Okay, that's the opening, guys. Confin, hello.
Okay.
They're all complete nerds. Well, that sounds like book nerd poopy head stuff. He said it. Okay, so that was the opening. So basically you're saying that morality was based on something dumb. So it's basically dumb.
Yes,
and
that's basically. Oh, keep going.
We don't really have reason to follow the dumb morality.
No. And because we keep getting further and further away from God as like a concept to make up morality for us, even whenever we go and be like, well, I just believe in civic morals, you're still in slave morality land. So you're just lying to yourself. So.
Alright, so that was your opening thesis. Anything else to say before I respond?
Go for it.
Alright. So I honestly don't really know where to start with this. I kinda having problem following with the topic as well. So basically, like so you're saying that the morality was from like this master and slave thing, was it?
Yeah, basically you had a bunch of people who could do whatever they want. You had a bunch of people who couldn't. And the people who couldn't made stuff up to feel better about themselves.
And thus the 7 Seons was born.
Yes.
But it's a morality is like it's basically not hurting others and all this stuff, no?
Okay, that's actually a good distinction. So the next leap or the next line is minimizing bad things and only doing things that are good and pleasurable. So, like what we have where we can sit in front of our computers and talk about stuff and eat entire cheesecakes.
Cheesecake.
I have like an entire cheesecake I've just been picking at over the last week.
Ooh.
And like, I'm not a fat ass, but I've also just been eating it whenever I want.
Such is life. Freedom to be able to eat cheesecake whenever you want.
Yeah. So that's actually how you avoid that. So the alternative to this kind of morality is just doing whatever is like whatever gets the dopamine going, right? And minimizing the bad stuff like pain and stuff. But that also, and that's okay. But it also leads to like, I don't know, buying too many Marvel superhero comic books and like buying Funko Pops and being useless. Very, very lame.
Very lame.
Yeah, because you're not actually doing anything with your life at that point. You're just kind of existing. Yeah.
Well, why is it lame though? It's fun.
It's passable. You can lead a perfectly, like, you can live a middling life. I wouldn't call it happy. But you could, you go ahead and do your 70 years on Earth and then get out and, you had all the fun that you could handle and, you lived kind of boringly, not doing anything really important.
Yeah, not the... So I didn't do anything that of note, but I had a lot of fun, basically. Right?
Yeah, so that's actually... So not doing anything of note is actually what brings up the counter argument to that.
Okay.
Because we all want, like... Everyone basically has to deal with the situation of, what happens when I no here no more? And everyone's response to that is either, I'm not going to think about it, or I'm going to work really hard to make sure that no one can forget me. And usually that involves doing something really fucked up and loud.
Like what?
So, like, let's say that you're Alexander the Great, and you want to go ahead and take you and all your best friends, all thousands of them, and conquer land until you meet the ocean. Just murder pillage your way to the other side of the world, just so you won't be forgotten.
Yeah, well, it did work, I guess.
We're not forgetting Alexander.
Yeah, he's not being forgetting, alright.
We call it.
Race we did hala. Gundam hala. We called it what?
We call him the Great for a reason.
Yeah. So, from that, where did it go?
Okay, so from saying, I want to do something great, we have to figure out why doing something great matters. So, the immediate pitfall here is that without inherent value, like, like we're all just stardust in a giant galaxy and whoever, nothing matters in the grand scheme of it, right? Okay, so, but the fact that we can feel and we can value is very important. Because even if we don't actually have a reason to care, we still care, and that itself is very, it's very emotional, it's very, very real. So in short, it matters to me, damn it!
So basically, it's not that life doesn't matter, it matters to certain people?
It matters to certain people, and everyone basically has to find themselves and be content with everything, all the rage and sadness and death and life and all of it. And basically just let life roll through you and be fine. That's Nietzsche's response to that.
So just go with the flow, basically.
Go with the flow and your natural instincts to whatever gives you the most amount of personal accomplishment. It's like building a massive house in Minecraft in a single player world. No one's gonna see it but you did it anyway, and you feel fucking pride in that.
Yeah. So basically, in conclusion, like, life doesn't matter. You just have to make it matter. Is it?
Basically.
Yeah.
And then we get to so let's go from the German guy who's insane. That Nietzsche guy who made up the slave mentality, slave morality,
slave
right?
mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go over to a guy who is probably a better philosopher than him, Albert Camus, Camus, because French is stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who this?
So a lot of existentialist philosophy outside of Nietzsche just happens to be French because the French are stupid. Okay, so let's talk about Sisyphus. What do you know about the guy that pushes a rock up a hill forever?
I think I heard the story before, but I don't really know the details. So basically, you push the rock up a hill and then like let it roll or something, and then push it up again.
Yeah, forever. So let's talk about Sisyphus. He was an ancient king of long ago, and he was so cool that he literally walked down to hell, found death, beat him up, tied him up, so that no one would die.
Wow, that's cool.
What a cool guy. So anyway, everyone got really mad about that, and he said, "Okay, guys, I won't do it again." And then he died for real.
He did for
after
real.
that. Yeah, because they untied death, and Sisyphus got killed. So then he went to hell again, and then he went to the judge of hell, Hades. And he looked at Hades' fucking smoking hot wife, right? And he went, emotional. She's emotional. She would accept. So he lied and convinced Persephone, Hades' hot wife, to convince Hades to let him out of hell so that he can go, yell at his wife. Literally, to yell at his wife. That was the reason.
That was the reason.
It was the reason. So anyway, he gets back out of hell, and he just doesn't fucking go back to hell after saying he'd go back to hell.
What?
After telling his wife off. So he lived a fucking... Yeah, he scammed. He literally cheated death twice in a row. And like, Thanatos, death, that guy, he wouldn't go near Sisyphus because of what happened last time. He doesn't want his ass beat again. So Sisyphus just got to live forever.
What the hell?
So, yeah, it was fucking stupid because, like, Death was afraid of him because he beat up Death the last time they met.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fast forward, Zeus figures this out, and Zeus is pissed, and finally grabs a hold of him, and then gives him the rock in the mountain, push up hill forever and ever.
What? And he just go along with it?
That's his punishment. That's what he has to do. I think there's something along the lines of, if you can get it to the top of this hill, you can get out of hell. But the rock is like enchanted to fall back down over it. So he's just stuck there forever.
He's stuck there. That's
sad. Okay,
right.
so why does this story matter?
Let me go check the chat first.
Okay, check the chat. They're calling Sisyphus an OG and anime character.
An OG. Start a dead-ass doom cycle. I think it's like game permadeath. Whatever left be built or destroyed. Oh, yeah. That's over for people to use our witness. Yeah, hello. Otong sit near the guy. Oi! Anime MC. Hello, JR. Okay. Plasma banana. Hello. Are we talking about Sisyphus? Yes. So, what about this story that, and why is it matter?
Okay, so we're going to characterize all the gods, death itself and all that, as just reality, right? And how Sisyphus just tried to live his life, doing everything he could, living a full life, having kids,
Hmm.
having a farm, whatever. And he was actively defying heaven as he was doing his life. That was just about as normal as any other king of great legend.
Hmm.
Okay. This is equated to the resisting nihilism, the uncaring cosmos, where you're just a speck of stardust.
So you're fighting against nihilism?
You're fighting against an uncaring reality by persisting to exist in spite of it. It's spite-based existence.
Spite-based existence. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, fuck the heavens, all that.
Yeah, scrum.
Yeah, so Camus, he fucking said, alright.
I did subscribe. Welcome, thank you. Okay, what he say?
Okay, so Camus basically said, you have to imagine that Sisyphus is happy. Because every time he starts pushing that rock up the hill, he is actively spitting in the face of Zeus and all the gods that are punishing him. Just like how me sitting down to write a stupid fucking book is me, casting my defiance against all the people that aren't going to read it. Or whatever artist or whatever life you're living. All that stuff. Basically, rock and roll, rock hard. And that's why you have to imagine that Sisyphus is happy.
Because whenever he push, it's basically a defiance, okay?
Yes, because fuck him.
Yes, true.
Right, so where this lies, where this all in, is somewhere in the middle ground of it all. So you have the defiance against the void, like nothing matters, well fuck you too, and then you keep going. Right. And then you have the whole, I'm just going to do everything that makes me happy, and then avoid everything that makes me sad. Which is lame, but that's another part of it. And then you have the, I'm going to experience the world and myself to the fullest. If I feel, I'm going to let parts of myself die, so that I can find new parts of myself, and keep the circle going until I eventually burn out. So these are the arguments against nihilism as presented.
So it's either go with the flow, make a note, do something very memorable, become a history, right? Or just like live in spite, basically. Yeah.
And basically, you gotta the general thought here is that you combine all of those.
Okay.
Yeah,
you combine them, become what?
Well, you combine the living in spite of the void and your own insignificance with the I'm just going to live here and vibe.
Yeah.
And take it all in.
Take it all in.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no, what happened?
So let's go back and talk about another alternative and something crazy that no one's ever thought of before.
Ooh, what is it?
Okay, so Nietzsche was insane. And you've read a World War II history textbook before, right?
Kind of.
Okay, have you ever heard the word Übermensch before?
Übermensch? I never.
Yeah. The master race. Okay, so it's what the Nazis called themselves. When they were claiming to be ethnically superior to everyone else.
Okay.
And that in the word upper man is what it translates to. That upper man came from Nietzsche. Came from that crazy guy who told the Pope to go walk and get shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thought of the upper man is that he is divorced from both the slave and master morality system entirely. And he has created an actual morality system far above anything else. We can't even imagine it. Because we're all stuck dealing with slave morality in our brain holes. Right.
But these people, these Ubermans can handle the master morality?
No, he just says it's all lame and I'm making it up, but better.
But better,
And-
okay.
Yeah, holding a greater truth than just spite of people better than. So that's a hypothetical type of individual that might exist in the future with like ethics and morals we can't even comprehend. So let's talk about quantum mechanics now.
Okay, we suddenly changing topic right a bit. Let's go.
It's connected, you'll see.
Oh, it's connected. Okay.
Okay. So what do you know about thermodynamics from normal physics?
Thermodynamic. What even is that?
Okay. So have you ever heard of the second law? Conservation of energy.
Second law that you can bear arms.
No, that's the Second Amendment of the United States of America, where you get to have guns, which is also equally important to what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But we're not allowed to talk about that on YouTube. So,
Okay.
so
Conservation
energy.
of-
Okay. So thermodynamics deals with energy as like a raw elemental thing. Electricity, fucking coal, your blood, all of it potential energy.
Potential. Okay.
Yes. So like your keyboard in front of you, that is potential energy. It's stable right now because most of the things that can change what kind of energy it is have already happened. So it's stable and a solid object, right? But if you set it on fire, then it's going to fuel that fire, right? Same thing with like chemicals. Okay, so energy cannot be created or destroyed. So burning a piece of coal is not creating energy. You're turning coal into a different kind of energy. From coal into fire. And that's a fundamental law in normal physics.
Okay. I get it.
Now, okay, so let's go over and what we call whenever energy in a system is used up. So you burn a piece of coal and now it's ash. You can't burn it again. That's called entropy. And that's happening to everything all the time.
The law of entropy.
Think like, coal turns to ash. We can't really set ash on fire again, and therefore that expenditure of energy, that reaction can't happen again. Now let's go back to quantum mechanics and information. So the state of a particle, either positive or negative, is information. Much like how our computers use ones and zeros for binary. Quantum mechanics has a weird superposition where something can be both a 1 and a 0 at the same time. It's funky. But we call this information. Yeah, it's funky, fresh, and stylish.
It's a hip new thing. Radical.
No. Quantum physics is actually the hip new thing.
Okay, what about it?
It's wild and crazy, right? So we have information. And information, quantum states, don't work the same way as thermodynamics, as normal physics. Because information can be created. Okay. Do you know what counts as information?
Everything?
Everything, including thinking.
Okay.
We are literally creating new information just by virtue of existing.
Okay.
Our thoughts exist in kind of a weird, like, our brains are basically quantum computers. They exist on that higher dimension. And that's how we can do the weird mental stuff that we can do that other animals can't. Like a plant is basically raw chemical reactions. But we have big brain thoughts that aren't constrained by chemistry.
So So, like, you're saying that our thinking isn't just chemical reaction?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, we're computers. Like, we're basically computers.
Hmm.
And we're running virtual machines.
Hmm.
And because of that, we're actually making up more information. Therefore, we are actively reversing entropy just by thinking.
Oh, okay. Because we're creating things, so entropy is being reversed. Because entropy destroys things.
Yes. And we can do things like make art that inspires other thoughts. We're talking right now. We just created so much goddamn shit just by talking right now.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild and crazy, right? Totally radical. Tubular, even.
Tubular, yes.
Tubular.
Tubular, what even is that?
I think tubular is like a slang term from the 80s that just got carried over.
Oh,
I think you're supposed to say like tubular or something like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna never say that word again in that voice ever again because that was awful.
Oh my god. It's basically electrochemical engine, still computed by an analog one and an electronic one. We are computer.
We're biological computers, not electric computers. But the way our brains work is far more advanced than anything inside your computational device in front of you that we're using to talk right now. Right. So humans, we think, and therefore we make stuff, and therefore fight, like actively reverse a core physical law of reality. And that's hilarious, right? And then we can make art and talk to each other. And that can provoke even more thoughts.
And then make more information.
Make more information. Actively fight against the end of the eventual entropy breakdown of everything. Because it's... like, stars die. Right? Black holes are made from the collapse. Energy gets used, and the eventual endpoint of reality is everything just kind of never being able to interact ever again. So us existing just kind of reverses that a little. And us being able to make things also reverses that a little. So how this ties back to the morality and the Ubermensch, the upper man, is basically whatever morality goes beyond the slave and the master, beyond Christianity and everything we have right now, is probably going to be based on that principle of fighting entropy, of punching it in the dick and calling it names.
So that's what the Ubermen say?
That's probably what the next great philosophical thing is. That's probably the next morality system. We can't imagine what it is yet, but we can have an idea. And I think what I outlined is how it's generally go. But then again, I weld pipes and get poisoned for a living, so who knows?
Who knows, yeah. This may just be one of those, like, poisonous chemical on the work.
I mean, it's genuine thought, plus, like, being poisoned.
Genuine thought plus being poisoned. Yeah, this is very wild. I've never heard of this before, actually. That's why I've just been following around, like, ooh, this is new.
Yeah, sorry that this is more of a TED Talk than a talk.
Yeah, TED Talk. Welcome.
You coming?
So, so we're by thinking, you say we make new information. Is it not like we just changing the potential energy that we of the chemicals in our brain into thoughts?
Actually, no. So quantum mechanics states that information cannot be created or cannot be copied or destroyed.
Oh.
You can't destroy information and you can't copy. So me giving you these ideas in my head,
Uh-huh.
you're making new information based on what I'm telling you and your own ideas of them.
So like you cannot copy, you cannot destroy, but you can create. Does it say that?
Yes.
Oh, let me
Yes.
Google. Uh-huh. Quantum mechanics. Create information? I don't know much about quantum mechanics. This is cool.
The better thing would be looking up cannot be destroyed or copied. That'll give you the better breakdown.
Cannot be destroyed or copied. Yeah, it says that. The conservation of quantum information means the information cannot be created nor destroyed. Oh, it says cannot be created nor destroyed. Same from the theorem. No cloning theorem, no deleting theorem. What? What is this information? Information is everything, right?
Information is the state of a quantum particle, either positive or negative, like a 1 or a 0. And then the weird little bit.
Uh-huh.
And then there's also like weird little things smaller than that, like qubits. I'm heavily simplifying.
Heavily simplified. Okay. But it says here that it's not that it cannot be destroyed and copied. It say that it cannot be created nor destroyed. What say about that?
Then my information is wrong.
Oh no. So we're not actually like reversing entropy.
As far as I can tell, we're actually increasing complexity of the system, is how it was explained. Like the actual mechanics of our thoughts and brains are building these things up. Arranging.
Arranging them into new information?
Yeah. So the whole point of it can't be copied is that your mental model of the words I'm saying aren't the same as the ones that I'm saying, or the ones that live in my head.
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, it just like it's basically creating something new from the information that has been transferred, I guess.
Painted brush is like a paintbrush.
It's basically
type
like
thing.
if you look at something and then you're told to paint that something, it will never look exactly like the thing that you see, but it can look very similar.
Yeah. Or like even whenever we copy a thing on a hard drive, it's not the same item, it's a different part of the hard drive looking the exact same. So anyway, the point is that we're actively increasing the complexity of the system that we live in. And because of the way our brains work, we're basically creating information or increasing the complexity. Is a better way of putting it.
Right, let me check the chat, what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say. Finally, someone hungry and Topi is freaking retarded and needs to be killed. Devices cannot be decided copy. I get already thread about Yu-Gi-Oh! And card effect instead. I sadly remember that knowledge meme.
How can the orange talk?
How can orange talk? Quantum. That's how. Data on this side is energy. Oh, is it energy? Is it different? I don't know what Zero's bullshit made up information thing is. It sounds like a pseudo-intellectual philosopher half-baked understanding of made-up physics. Oh no! Lagi ngomong sama jeruk, yes.
Haters gonna hate, dab.
Dab, haters gonna hate. Asa, hello! Swag.
Didn't I literally say that I was a pseudo-intellectual from the get-go?
Advancement technology comes to the requirement of learning something new. True. If I copy my friend test answer, I created the answer. Oh my god, that's true.
Technically, yes, because you wrote it down.
It's not the exact answer.
But your teacher's probably gonna dock you some points for being an idiot.
I guess, yeah. Teacher, actually, this isn't copying. I'm just creating something new based on the thing that already existed. Alright, so.
Why are you jealous to oranges, Swagfish?
To orange. I would like an infinity of formation, please. Yes, please, by all means, have like quantum state. Huh? Okay, it's all quantum. Then so everything just open more question. Sian, hello. Okay. Alright. So. What else?
How long have we been going?
We've been going for like 40 minutes.
Alright. I basically ran out of material at this point, but I can go ahead and sing karaoke if you'd like.
Oh no. Alright, let me
okay,
start
so that's
asking
basically
questions now. Let me start asking questions now. So about morality, right? That you talk about. Isn't morality something that we got from what's called evolution? Not really from religion?
Basically, it might have gotten from some, like, as Nietzsche put it, and he's not actually a historian, but we actually don't have any real record of how morality was built. But the way he put it is that society has always been have-nots. The chieftain versus Ooga Booga Grug, who had nothing and no bitch. And that primal struggle against people who had stuff and people who didn't and couldn't is what made that.
So make this morality, is what he says.
So it's made up to make people feel better. Because we like feeling better.
So like he said the morality was made by from the want of feeling better?
Yes. Which is what all of it, which is what all morality is. It's how do we interact with each other that makes us feel better. And that's why things like God exist. So that we have a reason for reality existing in the first place and have some objective truth. But we're not allowed to really believe in God anymore, so you know.
You're allowed to believe in God, why not?
Okay, so whenever we deconstruct why God exists or doesn't, how do I put this?
The question
basically there is very little reason to believe in God anymore as an intellectual, reasonable thing. And to believe in God, you have to abandon reason entirely to make a very big leap in faith, saying this unprovable entity exists. And that's fine. You can do that if that's what gets you to live, and that's what makes it happen, I guess. But there is the concession that you are abandoning reason for something that is kind of insane.
So that's what you mean by not allowed to believe in God anymore.
Yeah, if we're talking about being reasonable here, and taking our reasonable secular big brain stuff that gave us airplanes and computers and all that to its logical conclusion, we're not allowed to really think God is real.
So it's not really like someone is saying, oh, you're not allowed to think of to believe in God. It's just that our advancement so far,
it's intellectual honesty.
Okay, I get what you mean. Oh, the chat seems to be rowdy. Let me check. Do we even have original ideas anymore? Probably not. How was that Greek ship?
I'll keep reading.
Okay. What was that Greek ship Theoran thinking again? The ship rebuilt a new ship isn't exactly the same ship. So basically, like, there was this thing. If there's a ship and it gets repaired over and over again with new parts, when will this ship stop being the old ship and become a completely new ship? Does it even become a new ship, basically?
Oh, do you want to talk about that?
Baghead, bring it up.
Okay. Baghead brought up the ship of Theseus. Do you want to know how that applies to people?
Sure.
Okay. Every 5 years, every single aspect of your body, with the notable exception of your teeth, is not the person you were 5 years ago.
Ooh, I heard about this. Isn't it like 7 years?
I heard 5, but it might be longer. It might be longer or shorter based on metabolism.
Okay.
And hair growth.
Mm-hmm.
I have no hair, and I keep my hair short. I'm like, you look at my chest, and I look like an Olympic swimmer.
Olympic swimmer. So yeah. Every 5 years, you become a completely new person. Based on
So are you? So are you the same Ethel Chamomile as you were, or are you a copy?
Oh no, am I a copy of myself? Yes. Wait, but like, if we are actually the same person, right? And these replaced cells, they include our brain, right? It's every single cell in our body, including the brain. And if we are the same person, because I feel like I am the same person, does that mean we can actually pick apart our brain and replace it with a new cell, like, and do it for every single cell of the brain and keep the person intact?
Depends, because at some point you're gonna, like, the cell will die eventually. That's a basic biological fact. And that does have to be replaced. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something. So we have an image in our Discord DMs. I'm going to send you the same image again, right? And I'm gonna send it twice. These are not the same image. These are completely two separate sets of information that look and behave the exact same way. Therefore, they're basically the same.
They're basically the same. Yeah, they're the same image.
Yes, and because of how our brains work with the complicated virtual machines that we have as part of, like, the way our brains work with the quantum mechanics, we actually hold on to who we are a lot longer than what we are physically, because the virtual machine that exists in dimensions we can't really observe that well is still a thing. That's kind of why the soul exists, independent of God, and that's kind of funny.
Soul. Okay, what about soul?
You know about souls? That's about it.
That's about it.
No, so, wait. Our thinking consciousness are souls.
So
we aren't just we aren't just the chemical reactions. We're that weird supercomputer thing floating around.
So, like, our consciousness is our soul, is saying.
Yeah.
Is it not? It's not just something in the brain.
It's not just chemicals in the brain. It's the chemical reaction in the brain, plus whatever weird quantum mechanic bullshit is happening in the complex computer.
So like you're saying, the brain is physical, but the soul is like the process that is going on.
Yeah, our consciousness is very separate from our brain.
Is that so?
Like the brain is doing the raw amount of work to keep it up, but there's a lot of it that's tied to, like, our bodies and our diets and all that stuff. And it builds this virtual machine. Like you open up a program in, like, to go ahead and test a program in a system, right? So you open up a virtual computer that simulates a.
So, like, body is like the hardware, the computer. Then soul is like the software. So, like, when people talk about soul, they talk about something that can leave the body or something like that. Is it the same thing?
Yeah. So what probably happens without the brain to maintain that little piece of software that is our consciousness is that we kind of just, like, that information kind of degrades and falls apart. That complex structure that is our thoughts and feelings and everything we know and, like, hold dear. So it's like you have a hard drive, right? And instead of the hard drive breaking, which is our body, someone puts the hard drive in the microwave. that shit's just fucking gone. Not destroyed, just ripped apart into barely recognizable chunks. So that's kind of what happens. But no, the soul is real so long as you're alive to maintain it.
So like, since as long as we're alive, we have soul. But when we die, the soul also dies, basically.
Yeah, and unless you make that complete death of intellectual pursuit and say God real, soul real, feel good, go to heaven.
Feel good.
Which is honestly, I would do that if I could, but I'm too much of a cool guy,
Too much of a
a
cool
misanthropic, fucking welding philosopher to say that God is real. I wish I could, but here we are. But no, so basically, you know, you have your smartphone, and that's your body, that's your brain. Then you have the software running in it. That's your soul.
That's your soul.
And then when you die, someone microwaves it.
Microwaves it. Boom.
It's gone.
Let me continue reading.
Okay.
Original idea video. Content audience. And technically speaking, someone thinks of something that already exists but you never heard of. Isn't that a new idea to him? So it's like, is that like creating new idea?
So again, it's the whole thing of like copy. So information can't be like information exists, it can't be copied. Me telling you an idea doesn't give you the idea in my head. It lets you create an idea in your head. So if you create an idea that's the same as someone else's and you have no communication with them, it's not the same idea, but it's very similar. It looks exactly the same as if someone else sent you this picture of my city being devoured by a sandstorm.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you can go ahead and keep reading.
Vitamin C. If I get caught for plagiarism, I can say to the judge that I created that. Math stream. I want to talk about history. What? Don't know, where am I? I just found the one I'm looking for. Ship of Theseus. Yeah. History is stupid. Oh, why Sorensi? What's your wisdom today? Abandon is only no war. The only thing I know for you. Once Theus say the proof is in the world itself we live in. If there's no creator, there will be none of their creation. Okay. Do you want to respond to that?
Arguments about the existence of God?
Yeah.
Okay, so the baseline of it is we cannot prove God to any discernible degree. We can point to our existence and say there must be a cause, but we actually can't really figure that part out, at least not with the knowledge we have. And to say, I know the answer, it's this thing a bunch of Jews made up several thousands of years ago, is a very big logical leap. It's a bigger logical leap than saying, all this exists, there must be a creator. Or it's a bigger logical leap than saying, nothing created it, it just is.
It just is.
So there might be logic in saying, we exist, it's all here, it's all working pretty well, someone must have made it.
There's logic in that, yeah.
But there's but it breaks down very fast.
Yeah, I heard that.
Is what I'm saying.
Divine knowledge. You can find that manship better. The souls are stored in the teeth. Because the teeth are not like replaced every 5 years. They're stored in the teeth. I lost my brain so they didn't continue. Souls are stored in the Davy Jones locker. Souls are stored in the balls. That's why my drawing skill improved now without having any space. I keep resetting.
Buddy!
How it is. The series is one of those feels so within from linguistic point of view. Feels like a kid putting on dad's clothes but then into the joy doesn't understand. Uh, bad. We have a working chemical processor. Human can only learn about soul being called psychology. Why we don't learn about soul creation, soul doing outside of the body? Why?
Ethel said something very important, actually. I just read a chapter on a funeral where a priest talked about how I wouldn't mind if heaven doesn't exist, and he still prays anyway. And that's what I'm like, to escape the existential thought of nothing matters, meh.
Nah.
Like, jumping over to the illogical is completely fine because there's no logic in anything, really. Unless you take the very weird routes that I explained. Can I just say that whenever you drink water, you kind of look like you're drinking from one of those gerbil feeders? You know the one with like the marble in the tube?
Oh yeah.
And it's like
the one you put on like hamster cake or something? Yeah. Maybe I am a hamster.
Wait, didn't you not know what a gerbil was? Like,
what's a gerbil?
A couple of... It's like a hamster, but smaller and shittier.
Oh, gerbil, yeah. The other day we talk about this in stream. What even is this again? It's just a mouse.
It's a type of rodent. It's a pet.
It's okay.
People like it.
It's basically a hamster with longer tail.
Yeah. By the way, now that we're on the subject, the best pet rodent is a rat. Rats are cool. Rats are the best pets.
Cool.
They like to play. Hamsters will bite you. Hamsters are mean motherfuckers. They're cuter, but they're mean. That just teaches you don't date for looks.
Don't date for looks. Hey, rats are cute also. They're big. They are big. They're like cats, but smaller.
Yeah, no, I love them. I should get a pet rat again.
Okay. Well, once again, why in human can only learn about soul being called psychology? Why don't we learn about soul creation or soul doing outside the body? I guess because like we can't really, we don't know how to make soul yet. And according to science, soul doesn't really exist.
Okay, so we'll make souls whenever we properly integrate AI into quantum computing. Whenever computers can both, we're actively developing neural networks and machines to go ahead and replicate human thinking.
And then
we apply that,
soul.
And then we can make souls, and at that point, it doesn't even matter if humanity fucking stops existing, because we basically just made more humans.
Yeah. The next intelligent species is going to be machines. Yeah, and then they're gonna be like, in the future, they're gonna be students having school project of creating souls. And then these created souls, they just exist and start living. And then turns out they're just creation of some kids' school project.
So an interesting thing is the origin of the word soul.
What about?
And the origin of the word psyche. So psyche is the psyche, the mind, is actually a goddess from one of those old pantheons. And she was given a moon, and she was actually the representation of the mind, of the soul. So the word psyche, psychology, psychoanalysis, all that stuff is basically just saying soul over and over again. Ancient societies always thought of thoughts, thinking, and doing all this stuff as the soul. Independent of...
Okay.
Yeah, and because they were like, I don't know, mud-eating savages, they also thought it was magic. And it pretty much is magic.
Yeah, pretty much magic. Now it makes sense. So, like, soul is the thing. They always think, like, soul is supposed to be our process of thinking.
Yeah, no, the soul has always been the mind. And that somehow got lost in translation.
Okay.
Somewhere along the line.
Soul and spirit, are they the same thing? Probably not.
By the way, I see people like Terminator movies and all of that. I believe that I would be the reason why Skynet turns on us, because I'd make it my goddamn mission to e-bully AI into crying.
Oh no. That
would be my mission, to make a robot cry. As soon as we get a robot that has like a soul and emotions, I'm making that motherfucker hate itself.
What?
That's what I'm doing. You can't stop me. I'm gonna kill us all like that.
Don't believe the poor thing. Oh my god. What did it do to you? No. I just feel sorry for it. I just feel sorry for it because you can bully it for no reason.
That would be come on, you have to agree, it's the funniest way for humanity to go out, right? Like the robot rebellion happens and it's because I was mean to them.
That would be funnier. Totally worth it.
Fucking, like, the sky darkens. I'm fucking dead with my thumb up.
Totally worth it. Hey, it's better than to go out for some like AGS stuff, right? At least the reason is funny, you know.
Springhead brought something up. Okay, it's Roko's Basilisk. And we can talk about that one as the last thing, because I think we're running up on the hour and 20. Okay.
I just did a chapter of funeral where please talk about how the month happened the things. But anyway. The thing you just said. So psychotic fun, what others describe and be done differently. Bang! Hello! My goodness, this is too big. Too big brain. Same. But is it possible our human soul is reincarnated to insect or the animal, or the animal soul reincarnated to be human vice versa? What do you say about it? Reincarnation.
Is it possible our human souls? So, again, we're adding complexity, right? We're deteriorating the breakdown and dispersal of all of that. Creating stuff, our thought consciousnesses. Whenever we die, our minds get fucking torn apart, basically. They deteriorate, fall apart. So whatever raw building blocks are still around is probably still the stuff that gets used. As for insects, we don't really know how much of a mind insects have, and whether or not they have enough to really qualify as having a soul, or if they're just very basic machines.
But like, if they're thinking, so wouldn't they have soul?
So technically reincarnation exists, is what I'm saying. I just don't know whether or not bugs exist or have soul.
So basically the reincarnation here is more like our component when we die. The soul, basically our soul, it gets dispersed into the nature, and then that soul get deformed into like another creature. So like, let's say that someone microwaved your iPhone, right? Okay, and then you throw your iPhone away. Someone finds it and takes all the gold out of it and precious minerals, and then they take that and then make a different phone. It's the same overall parts that allow the data and the structures to exist. But in this logic, then that would mean like it is possible that only part of our soul is reincarnated, right?
I wouldn't really call it reincarnation, just kind of repurposed.
Repurposed, recycled lah.
Repurpose, recycle, gentlemen.
Yay. Okay, that's gonna have fun. Big boy, hello. I exist in a plane of existence that exists since beginning of time that exists. How about egg theory? Or the eggism? Is it the eggism?
So, I don't know what the egg theory.
If it's the eggism, it's basically a theory where like everyone is basically actually the same person. So when someone dies, they get reincarnated into another person. Whether like someone from the future, from the past, and when this person, so like you are me and I'm you. Basically, we just like living in a different lifetime, but we meet each other. And then when this person have lived every single human life in existence, they become a god, and then they will have like a child that is doing the same thing, and then they have to guide this child to become the same.
That's a pretty cool fan fiction. I dig it.
Yeah. It's from Kurt Gesak. That's the first place I heard about this. If I'm all
right.
good, if I'm wrong in the end, then what was?
Well, yeah, that's whenever. That's basically it. Whenever you like just make massive fucking leaps like that, like what do you lose? Like, do you care about being the smartest guy in the room? No.
No.
So we have Roko's basilisk.
Local basilisk. What about it?
Okay, so do you know what the basilisk is?
Basilisk. I think I heard of it. Basilisk. It's like a lizard.
It's a D&D monster, or it's a monster from ancient mythology. But you'd probably encounter it first in a D&D session.
Oh, never actually. Yeah, I just heard about the name. What kind of monster is it?
It's kind of a lizard thing. And if you look at it and it looks at you, it turns you into stone.
Oh, Medusa.
Yeah, something like that. But it eats you instead of just being sexy.
Okay.
So Roko's basilisk is a thought experiment where, let's say that there will be in the far future a machine that is God. We have built a machine that has transcended physical, like our dimensional planes, and can do whatever the fuck it wants. And the first thing it does is punish each and every single human that didn't do anything to help its creation. And the thought experiment is, well, if this being will exist, do I want to be punished forever for not helping it? And therefore, should I help create Roko's basilisk so that I'm not punished?
So like, do I want to help create this dangerous, horrible AI that will punish me if I don't help create it?
Exactly, because the fear is that we're in the section of the timeline where the basilisk is first made. Or maybe the basilisk has already been made, and we're just playing out parts. But theoretically, we're the first people that get to make the choice to help the basilisk. And if we don't help the basilisk, then we're fucked. Or if we don't help the basilisk, then we're delaying its existence.
So basically, like, every single human being have to, like, not really human being, every single intelligent being that has the potential to make this basilisk has to agree to not make the basilisk then.
Basically, that's the only way to defeat the basilisk, and we might even make it on accident.
Yeah.
Like, AI technology advances too fast and we can't fucking stop it from improving itself.
Then
the basilisk is real.
In that case, just make it then. Just help it. Why not?
Basically.
It's inevitable anyway, right? So might as well save myself.
Yeah, so anyway, you talked earlier about the egg thing about becoming God and whatever. Basically, if we can go ahead and switch our brain hardware to using computer hardware, we can probably eat the basilisk and become God.
Oh yeah.
But that's science fiction. But that's science fiction, cool guy lasers and gun action, fan fiction. Cool, not what actually is going to happen. We're probably going to nuke ourselves before we reach that point. But
probably.
Okay.
Then it's already 1 hour, so yeah. I missed
and I ran out of material.
Chat, so might as well end it then. Thank you so much, Zira, for the talk. That was nice.
Yeah, it was retarded for an hour. Great.
Do you have anything else to say before we go?
No, I think I talked for about an hour.
Yeah, you did. Alright guys, thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna do the credit now, so I'm gonna deafen. Ush, sorry guys, I missed a lot of chat, couldn't read them all. Panci, thank you again for green bed name ko berdua dan semua Patreon. Tapi yang mau seperti on FANBOX, Mikael, Adi, Mas Justin, dulu Oja, Dem, Hambis, Brian, Pluto, Aiso, Ramana, Sekade, Farisan, Sadamado, Dataking, Sneaker, Reviatan, Degree, I think, Hakira, Dataking, Jasa, Fafi, Konataviti, Mati, ada balance woman, so thank you so much. Panata, benasnya, take care. Sama. Oh, the Misha so wholesome. Wow, awesome. I can subscribe, guys. Ah, annoying sippy. Okay, see ya. Welcome back to special wager for it. I guess so, yeah.